Hey fam, and welcome back in to the first episode of the Out of Our Minds podcast of 2024. Happy New Year. This is Nikki, and today's episode is going to be short, it's going to be quick, it's going to make you feel so relieved, I'll say that, and it's going to be a solo episode. Did I say that? I don't know if I said that already, but it's a solo episode. And to be honest, the reason why it's a solo episode is because Bella and I actually originally had planned a release of a different episode today, January 3rd, but I'm saying today, even though when I'm recording this, it's January 2nd. We actually had a different episode that was going to be released, and then we were like, you know what? I don't think we need to do like a whole New Year's themed episode. Her and I both don't really resonate with like the whole New Year, new me, New Year's resolutions, changing your entire life on January 1. Like, it's not something that really resonates in our bodies. So we weren't going to do like a whole New Year's thing. And then we were just catching up on the phone, and I said to her, I'm like, you know what if I hopped on the mic and just did a quick little episode just to share with the listeners and with the Omies and with you what it is we personally feel about this new year and how we can really take advantage of what the energy is currently, like it's this winter energy we're still in. So I was thinking, I'm like, what if I just hopped on the mic and shared with people exactly the conversation we just had on the phone about like how we don't need to be putting this pressure on ourselves to change our entire life in January 1, and how there is a way we can actually best utilize this winter energy to prepare us for what I believe is actually the start of a new year, which is the spring equinox. And this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about relieving that pressure. We're going to talk about how to really reflect on this past year and to really extract this energy of being proud of yourself. We're going to talk about how to best take advantage of these next few weeks before the spring equinox and what I'm personally going to be doing to prepare myself for that season of blooming. And yeah, as you listen to this, I want you to know that my personal goal with recording this podcast and sharing my voice is that I really want you to be inspired to tune into your own intuition. So as you're hearing what I'm saying, if something's not resonating with you and you are actually in that energy of like, fuck yeah, it's go time, January 1, I'm feeling so amped up, I know my exact vision, I'm going to just start taking action on this, then please do that. This is really about you tuning into your own personal energy. And I am just sharing what Bella and I have been discussing. And if you're feeling a different energy, then go and run with that. And to really pick up on what your intuition is guiding you towards. What's up, guys? I'm Nikki.
I'm Bella, and this is the Out of Our Minds podcast, a playground for mystics and self-explorers to journey through the vast realms of the universe, cultural landscapes, and spiritual expansion.
Join us weekly as we dive into thought-provoking discussions that unveil the mysteries of existence and nurture the growth of our consciousness. When I exit the holidays, I feel a sense of a little bit of misalignment because I'm out of my routines. I was with family for a long time, which was beautiful, but I definitely fell out of my normal habits and routines. I was eating sweet treats. I was going out to dinner, eating a lot of pizza. We went to a lot of barbecue places. Like, I definitely wasn't in my normal groove. So by the time January 1st came around, or I should say December 31st, Peter and I were discussing if we wanted to even go to a New Year's Eve party because we were so tired and we just wanted to rest. But we decided, you know what? We're new to the area that we live in now. It'd be really good to meet new people, to go meet the community. So we went to this party and it was incredible. There was just so many beautiful people there that we met and connected with. And I'm just so happy that we went. But the reason I'm sharing this is because it definitely was a little bit of a debate because of how tired we were. So I'm wanting to relieve the pressure that you may feel to get up and change your whole life on January 1st, because I think it's really normal to feel a little bit out of alignment, to feel a little bit scatterbrained, maybe from traveling, maybe from driving somewhere, maybe from flying, maybe from sleeping not in your own bed for however many nights. Maybe you're staying at a family's house, maybe you are at an in-law's house, whatever it is. There's a bit of like a scattered energy that exists during the holidays. And it's very interesting that we expect ourselves to wake up on January 1 and be like ready to freaking go. So I see this winter season and like the next few weeks leading up to spring as a time to prepare us for spring, to get clear on the vision, to align us with our highest energy, to put in the work of nourishing and resting and doing the type of rest that allows us to do nothing, and then leaning into the type of rest that allows us to actually elevate and nourish, that takes maybe like a little bit of effort. And before we dive into reflecting on this past year, I wanted to insert a little TikTok that I found that really resonated in my body, and I want you to feel into how this also makes you feel and if this feels true to you. So I'm going to play that here.
One of my coworkers was telling me how the Gregorian calendar that we abide by now was actually invented by the church 500 years ago to suppress our natural rhythms and further take control over people's lives, and that the true new year is actually in the spring, not the dead of winter when we should be hibernating. And that's why so many New Year's resolutions end up dying by March, because that's when the new year is actually starting. And I haven't done any research on whether that's true, because it just feels true, and I'm going to roll with that. So if you want to continue hibernating with me, harvesting your energy and your dreams, we'll be ready to bloom by spring.
So yeah, tune in to how you're feeling from listening to this. And if it feels true to you that you're still in a bit of that hibernation mode, then definitely continue to listen to this episode, because I'm going to talk about how we can best utilize that hibernation mode energy to prepare us for the spring. But before we go into that, I wanted to talk about how freaking important it is for us to really reflect on everything we have accomplished in the past year. And I know you may be thinking, well, I really didn't do that much, or maybe there's like a sense of guilt or shame of not accomplishing something that you wanted to accomplish. But I'm here to tell you that if I were to sit down with you and you were to tell me about this past year that you just went through, there would 100% be things that you can celebrate. I don't care if it's something little, minuscule, something that you would deem as not important. There are things that took a lot of courage, a lot of strength, a lot of bravery, a lot of love, a lot of empowerment for you to go through. And I really, really want you to take a moment to just reflect on how courageous it was that you went through that and you got through it and you got through the other side of it. And there's so much to be celebrated with that. And to also think about the things that maybe you didn't even plan on doing that you did. Maybe think about the relationships you formed. Maybe think about the relationships you shed. Maybe you think about the person that you have evolved into, the beliefs that you have let go of, the habits that you have maybe stepped away from that weren't the best for you. I'm saying all this to remind you that there are things you did this past year that your highest self is cheering you the F on for. There are things that you get to be so freaking proud of yourself for. And I want you to know that looking at the things that you have accomplished is what allows you to shift into that energy of pride and courage and love and amazement for everything that you have just done. It's so easy to look at what people are doing online and to compare and to think that you didn't do enough, or to look at the list that you made and maybe there are a few things you didn't do, or maybe you didn't do anything on the list that you wanted to complete, and to get hard on yourself. But every single thing that you went through last year, you were meant to go through that. And sometimes our ego has another plan of how the year was supposed to unravel. But it unraveled exactly how it was meant to. And even you right now are exactly where you are meant to be. And if you still feel like you're navigating something that arose in the last year that was difficult, just know that you are are doing the best you can with what you have, and you are doing freaking incredible. And you should be so freaking proud of yourself. Every single thing that crosses our path is here for a reason, and the mountain that is in front of us is the exact mountain that we're meant to climb up to in order to reach our personal peak, in order to attract our personal desires, right? These are the things that we get to remind ourselves when it comes time for a new year, to look back at that mountain we just walked over and to be so freaking proud of ourselves. You did that. You did that. And I don't even care if you're not proud of yourself. I'm going to be proud of you because you did freaking incredible. So really sit with yourself, like sit down with a pen and paper and make a list of all the little things that you did and celebrate the F out of that. It may seem stupid and tacky and cheesy to be like, oh, let me celebrate everything I accomplished. It's not. Energetically, it is so freaking powerful for you to reflect on the things that you have done. Maybe it's simple. Maybe it's one conversation you had that you were so proud of yourself for. Maybe it's going to one social event that you were so proud of yourself for. Maybe it's saying no to something. There are so many things that you can celebrate. So I just wanted to add that in here, that it's really important to take that time to celebrate what it is you have done, what you've walked away from, what you've accomplished, what you've said no to, what you said yes to, all the things. And to really, really allow yourself to feel into that energy of pride and celebration and amazement for what you have accomplished. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is I personally see the next few weeks of winter as a time to prepare for the blooming, to prepare for the spring, to prepare for what I feel is like energetically in my body, the new year. When I think back to the past few years of my life, I can see that I always felt in my highest during the time of my birthday. My birthday is March 10th. And I always look at like photos of me on my birthday or what I was doing around that year. And I can see in like the aura of me in the photos that I'm like very aligned. I'm very in it. I definitely feel my best. I feel in my highest energy. And I'm very, very clear at that point in time on what it is I want to make that year into. So when I backtrack it and I look at the weeks that are before my birthday and before Spring Equinox, I think about what it is I'm meant to be doing during that time to prepare me to be in that energy of blooming and having my manifestations come into fruition. So during those weeks, what I like to imagine it as is almost like the recharge time. And you can think of it as, you know, when you're on a hike and you're going up a mountain and there's like a spot for you to set up a base camp where you have all your food, you have your bed, and you spend time at base camp and you prepare yourself to go up the mountain. You can view this time as like you're at your base camp. You're at your point of recharge, of nourishing, of getting aligned, of getting clear on what it is you're about to do, what it is you're about to take action with. And to really align yourself with your highest energy. And sometimes doing that work, it takes you slowing down to then catch up with that energy, to catch up with alignment, to catch up with your highest frequency. So I want to talk about the things that I'm personally going to be doing for the next few weeks to prepare me for that March energy, that spring energy. Now, I see it as these weeks of the last half of winter are here to slow us down so that we can speed up in the spring. It's here to align us, to charge us, and to get us ready to bloom. So when you hear me say that, what really comes to mind for you? What really pops up? What pops up into your head when you hear the words slowing down to speed up, nourishing to bloom, resting to feel revived? What things pop up into your head? Now, it may be different for everyone because my sense of like slowing down and nourishing is really focused on taking care of my energetic body, taking care of my physical body, taking care of my spiritual body. And I do this in a very personalized way that may not resonate with you, but I'm going to share it and you can see what resonates with you. Maybe it'll bring up ideas of what it is you want to lean into. But I view these next few weeks as a time for me to get super aligned. And then when I am in my aligned energy, the visions I have and the ideas I have of what it is I'm meant to create for this year are very, very clear. So I'm using this chapter of winter to slow down, to turn inwards, to be with myself, to really tap into my meditation practice. And in turn, I will have a very clear vision on the goals I want to set and the things that I want to start working on as it gets closer to spring. So there's a lot of pressure that we're meant to like know exactly what we want to do for 2024 as soon as the new year starts. And I feel like even talking about getting clear on your vision for the year, the way I'm saying it still has like a bit of pressure of like, oh, you need to make something out of this year. You need to go create something. But if you're listening to this podcast, I'm going to assume that your soul is on the path of manifestation. It's on the path of maybe exploring a very soul aligned career. Maybe you're exploring doing something different with your life career wise. Whatever it is, your soul is here for the journey. And with that journey comes setting up visions and manifesting and playing the game of creating abundance in your 3D and all the beautiful things that we get to do in this reality. So with that, we definitely have this opportunity to get clear on what it is we want to manifest. What is the reality we want to live in? And I think that these winter weeks are a beautiful time for us to start aligning with that energy and to start aligning with that frequency so that the vision starts to very naturally become clear. So that you sit down with your journal and you're like, okay, I know exactly what I want to strive towards for this year, whether it be a career goal, a relationship goal, a personal goal, maybe you want to move, whatever it is. It's not about, oh, I'll be happy when that thing is here. It's like, okay, I'm going to align myself with this energy, feel the happiness, the joy, the peace, whatever vibration it is I desire to feel. I'm going to cultivate that within. And then life and the year is going to unfold very naturally, just living from that vibration and living from that state. So these winter weeks for me are a time to really play around with how it is I want to start cultivating that energy, how it is I want to start taking care of my inner world and taking care of my energetic body. So for me, that looks like really slowing down and waking up and having these mornings that are so special and sacred to me, where I make my cacao, I meditate, I take things slow, I connect to my heart space, I connect to my higher self, and I just spend time in stillness. I spend time on my couch. I take it really slow. I'll just journal. I'll explore what it is I'm feeling, my emotions, and really allowing myself the space to just connect inwards. And another thing that I'm doing, getting more connected to my body. And I feel like during the holidays, I kind of took a break from going to the gym. I took a break from working out as much. I was just walking and hiking and doing some more intuitive movement. But my journey of taking care of my energetic body and nourishing myself and slowing down, I really enjoy connecting deeper to my body. So I've been going to the gym. I went to the gym this morning and I'm just doing a very slow, intuitive approach to working out and moving that doesn't have any pressure attached to it. It's not like I have a goal of like, I need to look a certain way by this date or achieve this weight goal or that. I don't do any of that. I just listen to my body. I show up at the gym and I just pick up weights and I connect to the energy of my muscles, of my body, and I lift up the weights and it just feels so good and flowy and there's no pressure. So I don't really have like fitness goals or movement goals, but I'm definitely utilizing this time, especially going into like a preparation for spring, to just get more connected to my body and my energetic body and my meditation practice. And that really just starts to align me in a way that feels really good. Another thing is that I've been really playing around with this journey of intuitive eating. And it's funny because going into the new year, my mind was like, you know what? January 1st, I'm going to cut out sugar, gluten, and dairy, and I'm going to eat this way, and it's going to feel amazing. But then I was like, you know what? Why am I going to restrict myself? Like, why am I putting that pressure on myself? It's just so unnecessary. So another thing that I'm doing to really care for my energetic being at this time is really leaning into intuitive eating in a new way. And what I mean by that is that I'm taking note of how things make me feel when I'm eating them and after I'm done eating them. And I'm just starting to use that information as wisdom to guide me on my eating journey. So next time I go to make dinner, I have this inner knowing and inner wisdom of, ooh, this makes me feel really good when I eat it. So I'm going to cook this and eat this. Or when I wake up and I eat this kind of breakfast, I feel super energized for the day. And I don't really feel like any cravings or like a really aggressive hunger at like 12 p.m. That usually happens when I'm eating like a more like carb heavy breakfast. But if I eat a lot of protein in the morning, I'm like feeling super full and super satiated. And I'm really tuning in to like what makes me feel good, what makes me feel good in my body, what makes me feel good at the gym. And it's this very free flowing process where there's no restriction. I allow myself to eat what I want to eat. And then I just take note of like, ooh, that made me feel this way. It's not good or bad. It just is. Last night, I was like, you know what? I'm craving some sweets. So I made some cookies and I ate the cookie. And after I'm like, you know what? I like feel completely fine from eating that cookie. And now I know it's like something that if I want a little sweet treat, I make a little vegan cookie and it's really freaking good. So it's funny how my mind initially was like, you know what? You got to make all these restrictions. You got to cut this out and do all these things on January 1st. But then I really felt into that and I realized there's no point to do this. Let me just utilize this time to take care of my energetic being and to really slow down to eventually speed things up. And I said this line to my husband because I feel like it resonates with me so deeply and I wanted to share it with him. So I want you to just think about what are the things that you can personally be doing to take care of your energetic body and getting into alignment and really slowing down. Another thing that I want to add here is that it's important to like say no to the plans that you don't want to go to and to really care for yourself in a way where you are setting boundaries and protecting your energy and nourishing yourself in a way where you're not overdoing it with plans or maybe leaning into people pleasing or saying yes out of guilt. Really allow yourself to slow down. Allow yourself to say no. Allow yourself to have nights in with a cup of tea or whatever it is you want to make, some cacao, and just like take it slow. There's no reason to be going 100 miles per hour in the middle of the winter. Just allow yourself to recharge. And when you feel like you are in alignment, what usually happens, and this is something that I can speak for myself on and maybe you'll resonate, is that when you are in alignment, the plan and what it is you want to manifest and that vision and those ideas start to get so freaking clear. Because you are in that frequency, you're going to start attracting the thoughts, attracting the ideas, getting those intuitive hits of the action that you want to take. And then it's not a force of, oh, I need to take this action. I need to do this thing. By the time you're in that alignment and you're really caring for yourself energetically and spiritually and physically and mentally, you are going to want to take that action. You're going to get the intuitive hit and you're going to show up and just do it. So view these next few weeks of the winter as a journey of, number one, reflecting on every single thing you have accomplished and allowing yourself to shift into the vibration of pride, amazement, and love for everything that you just did in 2023. Number two, caring for your energetic body, caring for your spiritual body, caring for your physical body, caring for all of these different aspects of self that allow you to get into alignment. And I don't want you to view this as like a thing that you have to put a lot of energy and effort into. It's almost a slowing down and taking the foot off the pedal type of energy, and really showing up for yourself in a way that feels good to you. Eat in a way that feels good to you. Work out or move your body in a way that feels good to you. And I want to add here for this step that some of the things are going to take no effort, like resting and sitting on the couch and maybe reading or watching your favorite show, and like saying no to a night out that you don't want to go to and just kind of like doing your own thing at home. Yeah, some of those things take no effort. And then there are going to be things you want to lean into over these next few weeks of winter that are going to take a little effort. They're going to take a little push. They're going to take a little bit of getting over the ego that wants you to just stay in bed and be wrapped up in your blanket. It's going to take a little bit of effort of doing the things that you know will allow you to align yourself and that allow you to nourish yourself. So the word nourishment and the word rest, they can have a tone to them that makes it feel like, like rest, like I don't need to do anything. I just need to like sit on the couch and do absolutely nothing. But rest also requires a bit of effort, the right rest that allows you to recharge. So start to think about what are the things that allow you to get in alignment that take little effort, maybe sitting on the couch and resting, like I said, and then thinking about the things that allow you to align yourself that maybe take a little bit more effort. Maybe having a practice each morning, a little ritual of connecting to yourself, whether it be meditation, whether it be journaling, whether it be sitting down with a cup of tea outside and just allowing yourself to be in stillness. But we don't want to put the pressure of changing and being extreme with the actions we're taking. This is a time to get intuitive. It's a time to connect to yourself. So allow yourself to unplug that pressure that may be building up and let that release out of you of all of this extreme behavior that society wants to push on us because it's January 1st and all of a sudden we have to change everything about ourselves. This is a time to really rest, nourish, and recharge. And now the next and last step of this is what I spoke about before, of getting clear on the vision. It's very interesting that we expect ourselves to be very clear on the vision on January 1 after everything we just went through with the holidays. So use this time to get clear on your vision. Maybe it's something little. Maybe it's just a feeling you want to maintain for the rest of the year. Maybe it's an actual career goal. Maybe it's a relationship goal, like I said. So allow yourself to tap into that vision. All right, guys, this was a quick, short episode, and I hope this relieved the pressure that you may be feeling to change your entire life because it is January 1. As I said, this is the time to rest, recharge, and nourish. And you are doing freaking incredible. Bella and I so freaking grateful for all of you for listening each week. We're so freaking grateful to have you in this community, to have you as an OMI. And going into this next year, we have so many ideas and so many fun things that we are so freaking excited to execute and to share with you. Past 2023 and starting this podcast was such a beautiful adventure for us, and it would be nothing without you. So thank you so much for all the love that you have provided for us over the past few months. We are so freaking excited to continue this journey with you. And yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you guys so much. And as always, we'll see you next Wednesday.